Okay, I'm back with another little video. Well, hopefully it's not too long, but so what I'm gonna share with you guys is we're gonna check for compression ring gap. That's I'll show you guys. Again, we're learning as we go. Okay, so bear with me. So here we go. We got a brand new ring. This is going to be the top ring per the directions. And we got the directions here. Top ring, second compression ring, and then the oiling rings are down here on this packet, right? So the top ring does not have this dot like the second ring does. You see that dot right there? That is always facing up. Okay, so the first ring doesn't matter which way it goes in, right? The brand new piston, right? So it doesn't matter if it goes this way or that way. So, but what we're checking right now is the ring gap per the manual. It calls out from 18 thousandths to 25 thousandths. So it's a pretty big window. I did the first one and it was right around 2021. So we're right in the middle. So it's perfect. And to get these in, there's a little trick to get them completely flat. We'll get it in first. Then I'm gonna show you guys. Okay. See, we could measure it there. If you look at the gap, see that gap? Just like my gap in my teeth, my front teeth. But to get it level and straight, you can use the existing piston or the new one. I'm just gonna use the new one. Push this down. And what I like doing is leveling where the pin goes, leveling it to the top base of the cylinder. So we'll just slowly work it down. And you don't have to oil it, just work it down right there. See how it's all even? So that means the ring is completely flat inside the cylinder. Okay? And you'll see it right now. See that? This is the way you check gap ring. All right, then you get your filler gauge. I already have it out to, where we at? 21. I don't know if you can see that. And 20. So we're gonna go ahead and go with 20 first, because it calls out, manual calls out again 18 thousandths to 25 thousandths gap on the top ring and the bottom ring, or the second compression ring. And I'll show you that in a minute. So just to show you guys, you get your, I'm at 20 thousandths right now. See how it goes right in? Perfectly. Okay. Let's go to 21. Okay. 21. Still goes in, but it's snug and it's perfect, right? So if this was below 18, the gap would be too tight, right? Above 25 thousandths, the gap will be too big. So that's the way to check both top compression ring and the second compression ring. And again, don't forget, the instructions show it. The one that has a dot always goes up. So, and the piston will be up like this. So let's go ahead and remove this evenly. There you go. And you can tell on this cylinder, I've sent them out to LA sleeve so they could get on honed out. See that? There's a few low spots right there, but the guy telling me don't worry about it, the new rings. But you see that crosshatch look? That's for oiling. It lets oil get in there. Now, you want to do this when you're putting brand new rings. Not necessarily pistons, but brand new rings. I'm going pistons and rings because you want the break-in process to have oil caught in those little grooves there. So that's the purpose of that. Let's set that aside. Again, you know, I'm not an expert. We're learning as we go. That's why I'm sharing this with the group. And here we got a new piston. And the intake, see if you see this, it says standard. So I went standard. It's not nothing. I didn't bore it out, so I didn't have to go 5 over, 10 over, whatever. Then it says intake. So the intake is always the bigger valve. You see this bigger cutout right here, a machine. Smaller. That's for the exhaust valve. So the intake is always going to go facing the motor mount, facing in, not facing towards the exhaust. So remember that. The bigger seat right here where the valve clearance is at, that always faces inside. So if this is the front of the bike, the front cylinder, this is the way it'll go. And if it's the rear cylinder, that's the way it'll go. Okay, so again, the motor mount will be right here. So let's put on these rings. All right, you don't have to do any kind of oiling right now. We'll start off with the, oh, wait a minute. I'm getting too far ahead of myself. I got to check the second ring. The one with the little dot there, right? So let's get this in there. We're going to measure the gap again. Again, get your piston. Bring it down. Even it out. Right there. Okay. Let's get our filler gauge. I'm at 21. That goes through, but it's tight. So I already know the 20 is going to be fine. Where we're at. Where are we at? Let me turn this around. Right there. Yep. That's good. Nice and snug. So it's between 20.5 to 21. So we're good there. Bring that out. Move this aside. So what I like doing first is putting on. So you got the top ring. Then you have this gap. The bottom ring there. Where am I at? Yeah. The bottom ring here. And then the oiling rings go here. The oiling rings go there. Second ring, compression ring right here. Top ring right there. Okay. So let's go ahead and do the second. Remember, second ring with the dot. I got the ring expanders that I bought. Again, all this is new to me. It's been a long time. Don't expand them too much. See? There we go. Right there. Okay, that's on. Okay. Then this one, the top ring, doesn't matter which way it goes up. It doesn't have a dot. So it doesn't have a beveled edge or anything like that. There you go. And another thing, so since this one's going in the front piston, it's going to be like this, front facing that way. Sorry, this way. Right? Intake facing in. And the way the manual says it, see this gap right here? So the top ring, you want it right around 2 o'clock, this being 12. And the second one, right around 7 o'clock. So you see the opening here, the gap, and the gap here. Okay, So when you get your compression tool ring compression tool, when you put them in, that's the way it's gonna go. Now the oiling rings, I like doing them upside down. And I'll show you why. Doesn't matter again which way. Here's the oiling ring. So they call this the rail, the steel rail, spiral rail for the oiling spiral. So you got this. So this won't work because they're so thin. Okay, that doesn't catch. So this you have to put, kind of manually open it up. And basically, sorry, this corrugated ring gets sandwiched. Just like that. That's all it is, just an oiling ring. This has nothing to do with compression. It's the first two top rings that are compression related. So just work this one down like this. You'll see right now, it goes in that big gap right there. Okay, see that? It goes right there, okay. And when you're done, so the bottom, so this is a gap here, let's see here. You want this lined up with the pin, and then after you're done all lining up, the opening gap on each spiral rail, you want 1 inch this way on one, and then the other one you want it 1 inch away from this. So it's gonna be like 1 inch center, then 1 inch. So you drop that back down. Open this up. Not too much, remember, not too much. Okay. This could get a little tricky, but once it goes in, it goes in pretty quick. I'm gonna try something else. I think this is the way I did it last time. Where's that opening at? Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I think I remembered, I think I installed these last. I did it last week on the front one. Okay. So we're gonna go oiling ring. There we go. Okay, that's what I did. That's what I did. Okay. So we'll go back with the rail. I hope I'm catching this. Yeah, I'm catching that. So work it to the, either to the top. I'm gonna work this one to the top. See how quick that went in? Look at that. Boom. Pick this up. There. So that's one end on top of that corrugated ring. Okay. Second one, that's what I did. Again, doesn't matter which way it goes in. There's no dots, no arrows. Bring that down. Put it on the bottom side. See how easy that quick? Look at that. That's what I did. All right. That's it. And all the rings are in. And again, don't forget the manual, right? Intake going towards the motor mount, the rear cylinder. Right? Let me get my new ones. So here's the old one, right? So this will be the rear because it's bigger here, smaller for the exhaust. Right? Where are we at? Right there. Okay. So yeah, this is, these were not that bad, but I just decided just to replace the brand new pistons, brand new pins, the pins. And remember this, when you put it into the bike, it takes a lot of, not a lot, but some assembly lube, right? So anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. how to install the rings. And again, the manual will tell you which way. Again, you know, it's going to be at 2 o'clock and 7 o'clock on both compression rings. And I had a really hard time with the ring compressor that I had installing the first cylinder, and I'll show you. This one's already installed in there, see that? Intake towards the motor mount. Motor mount is there. So, yep, that's still on there. Took the pin off already. And anyway, I hope this kind of just helps anybody that's, you know, doing it themselves. And again, there's a manual, right? That's for the rear. And again, I said 18 thousandths to 25. And then the side clearance, that's all fine with the filler gauge. Cool. All right. Comment if I did something wrong, correct me. And I'll see you in the next one.